All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling a huge question for anyone looking to sell online. Should you go with Amazon FBA, or is dropshipping the right move? This choice can make or break your business, so let's break it down.
So you've got that entrepreneurial spark, right? You see the massive opportunity in e-commerce, but you're kind of frozen. Where do you even begin? Do you go all in with Amazon's powerful system, or do you dip your toes in the water with a low-risk dropshipping model? It's a tough call.
And make no mistake, this decision really matters. The path you pick from the get-go has some serious consequences. If you choose a model that doesn't vibe with your budget or your goals, you could burn through your cash before you even really get started. The stakes are definitely high.
Okay, so let's dig in. Before you can make the right choice, you've got to know exactly what you're choosing between. We're going to start by breaking down how each of these two powerhouse models actually works from the ground up.
First up, we have FBA, which stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. The idea here is pretty simple. You're the one who owns the inventory. You find a product, you buy it in bulk, and then you ship it all off to an Amazon warehouse. From that moment on, Amazon does all the heavy lifting. They store your products, they pick and pack every single order, and they handle all the shipping and even the customer service.
Now on the flip side, you've got dropshipping, and this model completely turns the whole inventory idea on its head. With dropshipping, you never, ever physically touch the product. You're basically the digital storefront. A customer buys from your site, and you just pass that order along to your supplier. They then ship the product directly to your customer. Simple as that.
So let's just walk through the FBA process. It all starts with you doing the research and placing a big bulk order for your product. Step 2, you pack all that up and send it to an Amazon fulfillment center. Then you create your product listing on Amazon's website. After that, you can pretty much sit back. Amazon's incredible automated system takes care of everything else, fulfilling orders, handling returns, the whole 9 yards.
Now compare that to the dropshipping workflow, which is a lot more hands-off for you, at least logistically. You set up your online store, you find and connect with a supplier, and then you just focus on getting people to your site. A customer orders and pays you. You take some of that money and pay your supplier. And then the supplier takes care of that last critical piece, getting the product to the customer.
Okay, this leads us to what is probably the most important factor for any new entrepreneur: the money. How much cash do you really need to have on hand to get one of these businesses off the ground? And let me tell you, the answers are worlds apart.
For Amazon FBA, you really need to be ready for a pretty hefty upfront investment. We're talking on average $3,000 to $6,000. And honestly, it can easily be more. Why? Because almost all of that money is going into buying your first batch of inventory. You have to own the product before you can sell it. And don't forget about Amazon's monthly storage fees. If your stuff doesn't sell fast, those can start to sting.
Dropshipping, though, is a completely different story. The cost to get started is way, way lower, usually somewhere between $500 and $1,500. Your money isn't tied up in products you haven't sold yet. Instead, you're spending it on setting up your website and, crucially, on your first few ad campaigns to actually attract customers.
So when you look at it this way, the risk profile becomes super clear. With FBA, the inventory risk is high. If people don't buy your product, your cash is just sitting there in a warehouse. With dropshipping, that risk is practically non-existent. And that means you can potentially hit your break-even point and start making a profit way faster with dropshipping. FBA is definitely more of a long game.
All right, so you've made a sale. Awesome. But what happens next? This is where we get into the customer experience. The differences in shipping, delivery, and support between FBA and dropshipping are massive, and they have a direct impact on your brand's reputation.
I mean, just look at this. It's night and day. FBA automatically taps you into the Amazon Prime network. That means your customers get their orders in 1 or 2 days with super reliable tracking. With dropshipping, since suppliers are often overseas, customers are usually waiting anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks. And the delivery reliability? It can be a real coin toss.
And this is a huge one. Who deals with customers when things go wrong? With FBA, Amazon's world-class 24/7 support team has your back. They handle the returns, the tracking questions, all of it. With dropshipping, well, you are the customer service department. Every single email, every complaint, every "where's my order" message lands right in your lap.
So we've talked about costs and logistics, but it's not just about that, is it? It's about the payoff. Let's get into the good stuff. Profit potential and your ability to build a real, lasting brand, the two things that will ultimately define your success.
When you look at pure profit margins,
The numbers tell a pretty clear story. With FBA, because you're buying in bulk, you get a lower cost per item. That translates to much healthier gross margins, usually somewhere in the 20 to 35% range. Dropshipping margins are just naturally thinner, often 10 to 20%, because you're essentially paying a retail-like price for every single item you sell.
But here's the big trade-off. With dropshipping, you have total control. It's your website, your design, your customer list. You're building your brand from the ground up. With FBA, you give up a lot of that control, but you get an incredible shortcut. You get to instantly leverage the massive amount of trust that millions of people already have in the Amazon brand.
Okay, let's fast forward a bit. A successful business isn't just about getting that first sale. It's about handling your 1,000th sale and your 10,000th. So, which of these models is actually built to grow with you?
Amazon FBA is literally built to scale. I mean, think about it. Whether you sell 10 products a day or 10,000, Amazon's fulfillment network just handles it. The process is the same for you. This frees you up to focus on the things that actually grow your business, like finding new products and marketing.
Dropshipping, however, can sometimes become a victim of its own success. The more you sell, the more individual customer service issues you have to deal with, the more you have to worry about your supplier running out of stock. It just means more juggling for you. This is why having an absolutely amazing supplier is the #1 rule of dropshipping. A bad one will sink you as you try to grow.
So we've looked at the costs, the customer experience, the profit, and how each model scales. How in the world do you make the final call? Well, let's put it all together and give you a clear, personalized verdict right now. This table is basically your cheat sheet. FBA, high startup cost, but high profit margins. You get blazing fast shipping, and it's super scalable, but you lose branding control. Dropshipping is pretty much the exact opposite. Low cost, lower margins, slow shipping, and harder to scale, but you have complete control over your brand and your customers. So here it is, the bottom line. You should choose Amazon FBA if you've got the capital to invest, and your goal is to build a serious, long-term brand that's known for a premium customer experience. On the other hand, you should choose dropshipping if you want to test out business ideas with almost no risk, if you need to start with a very small budget, and if having 100% control over your brand is what's most important to you.
You know, picking your business model is a massive first step, but it's really just the beginning. The next, and maybe even more important step, is creating a clear strategy that's tailored specifically for you. Whichever path you choose, having a solid plan from day one is what will separate you from everyone else and truly set you up for success.